Hello friends, this is the sixth stanza of the poem Church Going, and very interesting because you find the churchyard is given names like ghostly silt. See that? That is silt. Silt means dirt. Ghostly. Silt means dirt means ground, dirty ground. Or ground means not properly kept or not properly looked after. That doesn't mean the literary meaning of silt. Literary meaning of silt is that after flood, that the flood, the dirt that is accumulated after a flood is silt. But here it means ghostly. Ghostly because it is haunted. Haunted means not any ghost or things like that. Nobody comes there. That's the thing. Nobody goes there. For example, when you get in the cemetery, what feeling you have got? A ghostly. So ghostly feeling. There are no ghosts there. Nobody is lying there. All those things we know. But even then, when you stand, when you go to a cemetery, you think that it is ghostly. Isn't it? Suppose you are asked, somebody says that bet whether you can go to a cemetery at 1 o'clock. I mean, it's 12 o'clock, 12 night. See that? At night, can you go there? Most people will say no. Because we know that there is nothing. But still, that condition here, the mind is conditioned in such a way that we are afraid of going there, thinking that there are ghosts. So that's why ghostly means nobody, an uninhabited place. A place which is not at all visited by anybody, except for say, special purposes. That is ghostly silt means. So the church and the surroundings, he gives this name, ghostly silt. See? Another is cross of ground, he says. Cross of ground. Actually, ground, this cross, it is not noun. Because I think, because there can be some writers or some commentators have said, cross of ground. The ground looks like a cross. I don't think so, it is like that. As we can see, crossing of ground. That is cross of ground means crossing of ground. That may be the meaning. We will see when we will take up the discussion of those lines. Understand? Then another interesting thing is that church is a special shell. He calls the church a shell, a special shell. What is this peculiarity of the shell? Peculiarity of the shell, it is closed. A shell is closed. So there is nothing, windows not open, doors are not open, and so on. But when you go back to the first answer, you will think that it suggests that a door is open. It's one door is open. So that's it. Once I am sure there's nothing going on, I step inside. If you have to step inside, then it has to be, one door has to be kept open. Okay, leave it there for the time being. Then another word that he uses is frosty barn. Frosty. That is, remember those word, that the adjective that he uses, musty, ungovernable. See that? Musty. Isn't it? The words that he uses is musty, ungovernable, and all those. Sorry, unignorable, not ungovernable, but unignorable silence also. So you can connect it with that. Frosty barn. Barn is a place where you store your agricultural products and so on. Here it means barn, means frosty means we can say that musty, smelling, a stale smell, you can say. Suppose you keep a hall or a room closed completely for some time, then you enter into it, then you have got a smell. That smell is stale smell. So that is frosty barn. He calls it a barn. Why does he call it a barn? He is making, in a way, he has no respect for it. That's the thing. He has no respect for this building. So he calls it barn. He calls it frosty barn. He calls it another shell. So this is a shell because it is closed. Frosty barn because it is stale smell. So that means the reason. Now, you start reading, you will see another interesting thing. Bored, uninformed. That is passive voice. Isn't it? Because the last line, you remember what is it? Well, the last line is, my representative will visit. Who will be the last, the very last? Now he thinks that after he leaves, another person like him will come. So my representative means not like a sales representative or a medical representative, but another alter ego, another person like me. In Latin, we say alter ego, alter, another ego, another person, ALTER, alter, alter. Now that in Malayalam, in English we have another word, no, alterations, change, alter, yes. So alter ego, what? My representative. What will happen? He will be bored. Representative is bored, passive. Uninformed. My representative is uninformed. He has no idea about this. Already these years and years have passed by. So when the last man comes here, he is bored, he is uninformed. Why? Nobody has informed him. Why is he bored? Because it is a ghostly silt. There is nobody there. Imagine, see, can anybody go to a cemetery and be happy? Never. You go there and stand. Can you look at this, all these tombs there? In the graveyard, can you say, what a wonderful place it is? You can never say. For some reason, maybe we are conditioned like that. The moment you enter a cemetery, you feel gloomy and sad and philosophical. Yes. Gloomily philosophical, not happily philosophical. Understand? Gloomy. Yes, here. So, passive voice. He is bored, he is uninformed, he has no idea. Representative. Then, knowing the ghostly silt, dispersed, the ghostly, that no order. Understand? Not order, dispersed. Here and there, even something is left there, something there. So there is no order, no arrangement, nothing. So that ghostly silt is dispersed. Yet, so you can say, up to that, dispersed up to that. Now, this is one idea. He is bored, he is uninformed. Why? Because he knows that it is the ghostly, he sees, he knows he sees, it is dispersed, not organized, because nobody ever has gone there. Yet, tending to this cross of ground through suburb scrub, that is another idea. This is the thing. Tending to, we can explain it in this way, that there is a tendency, there is a tendency to this cross of ground. There is a tendency to cross this ground. There is a tendency crossing this ground. That's the thing, isn't it? Yet there is a tendency crossing this ground through suburb scrub. Although it is ghostly silt dispersed, although the person is bored, although the person is uninformed, still he has got in his mind a tendency, a kind of obsession, so to say, to cross this ground through the suburb scrub. That means bush, wildly growing bush. Because nobody goes there, nobody is tending. Listen. And why? Because he says, because it had unsprigged so long and equably. Reason is that the tendency to cross this is, it is unsprigged so long, so far, and equably, no change. Equable means not much variation. It is not properly kept, but still it remains there. This dispersed here and there, that place, this place, etc. Still there is this unsplit, so long and equably. It stands unsplit so long and also without much change. Visible changes are not there, even after so many years. Understand? So, we have got a tendency, or these representatives have got a tendency to go there. Now, after all, what is the function of this church? Once upon it was built for, you remember. So, what was the function? What sins is found only in separation? Marriage. Separation and marriage. Some days, in the school, you remember when you were small boys and girls, you will ask your friends a riddle like this. See, what comes before marriage? What comes before marriage? Then the answer will be divorce or divorce. Why? Where does, sorry, not what comes, where does divorce come before marriage? Yeah. Where does divorce come before marriage? Where? In the dictionary. You got that point. So like that. Here, separation first and then marriage. Separation, marriage, that I think separation maybe, see, I am not sure. At one time, Philip Larkin had three romances simultaneously. Or you can say 3 girlfriends. One was a lecturer, another was his assistant, and another was his secretary. There were 3, he had a friendship with 3 women. So probably separation. One after another he got separated, or something might have happened. That is separation. Then marriage. Philip Larkin never married. This is a fact. So he has got he is not much concerned about this marriage, seriousness and things like that. So that may be the reason he is mixing up things like this. Separation, marriage, and birth and death. More than what you want. All the major events of your life are connected with the church. All the major events of your life are connected with a place of worship. Church can be replaced, remember my first lecture. Church can be replaced, paradigmatically you can say temple, then you can have synagogue and all those things, worship, any place of worship. So, any place of worship on earth of any community, you can say, the life of each and everyone is connected with that place. That's right. Major events. You have got birth, marriage, separation, then death. See? Death. These are connected with the church. So the church is a place where these things, the drama of life, the main events of life actually main events of life have relevance. So, main events of life in the life of a human being find meaning in a place of worship. Or says the main events of a person's life are connected to the culture of that particular society, which is symbolized by a church or a place of worship. Listen. So there you are. Only separation, marriage, birth and death, and thoughts of these. So that is, after death comes thoughts of this. So you find this, sometimes you will find, in placards like this. Today is today you, tomorrow tomorrow me. In our place, in our language it is written like that. I don't know how is it written in other places. Today you, tomorrow me. So that is enough, no? For a profound philosophical speculation and meditation. That is the most suitable topic for meditation. Because that is something that you simply cannot get away with. And that is something cocksure about everybody's life. Absolutely sure. There is no question of escape. So you can meditate on it. That is birth, separation, marriage, birth, death, and thoughts of these. Thoughts of your birth, how it happened, how in a particular place of particular parents you are born, who is responsible for that? Say that. If you are born in New York, you could have been born in Tokyo. Suppose you are born in New York and you are growing up there, but that is not the only possibility. There are many other possibilities. So you can think like that, meditate. What caused my birth in New York, not in Tokyo, or in Calcutta, or in Delhi? Like that, you can think. So these are very profound topics for meditation. Even this marriage, marriages are made in heaven. Because we have no idea about it. You cannot say, you cannot give a final judgment or a final statement about this. So we say it is in heaven. But in heaven. See? Some people say their souls are running helter-skelter in the astral world. And when it is time for them, they will enter into somebody's body. There are many things like that. Transmigration of soul, the Greeks believe. So, these are all topics that we can meditate. Then we say thoughts. So, marriage, birth, and death, and thoughts of this. For whom was built this special shell? Thoughts of the for whom means for those thinking people. This special shell might have been built. Or this special shell might have triggered thoughts like this. Triggered thoughts like this. So this special shell, because the next answer, the last answer you will find that a serious house on serious earth it is. After all this mocking, irony, skepticism, agnosticism that you find, as I told you yesterday, play hide and seek through these lines in the poem. He says, he begins the seventh stanza. It is a serious house on serious earth it is. That is because of this. Because this is a place for thinking, place for meditation, place for speculation, if you want to use a secular word. Okay? Special shell for though I have no idea. That is not the representative, the poet, the narrator, though I have no idea. What is accoutred? Accoutred means furnished. Frosty barn is worth. It is furnished, but it looks like a barn because nobody uses there. Frosty, as I already told you, stale smell. It pleases me to stand in silence here. Why it pleases me to stand in silence here? Because it gives me food for thoughts. Food for thought. There's plenty of scope for me to stand here, to become a mystic if I want. Think of these mysteries of this world. the greatest of all mysteries is death. So you can think profoundly about it. This is the best place for that. As I once told you, you cannot stand in a railway station and profoundly think of birth and death. Impossible. People will be coming, vendors, isn't it? Chai chai or tea, isn't it? That kind of things. They will come. You won't find a second to stand and meditate. Isn't it? Stand and stare, no time there. But here, says this is a place on earth, a serious place on serious earth. Therefore, it pleases me to stand in silence here. Probably the only one happy word you find in this poem, I think, is here in this, it pleases me. Oh, thank God. All this melancholy, all this gloom, all this skepticism, all this agnosticism, all this atheism, slowly is disappearing. When we say, it pleases me to stand in silence here. So it comes as an anticlimax now. We were thinking that the conclusion will be, oh, it is such a horrible place. But then suddenly what happened? There is sunshine. There is light at the end of the tunnel. You got that point? So that it pleases me to stand in silence here. In silence, thinking about these things. I think now you are with me, or you have got a difference of opinion. So let's go through once again. Bored, uninformed, not me, but that is about the representative. Knowing the ghostly silk, sometimes you will find the representative merges with the speaker or the narrator. So in this case, you can also think like that. Isn't it? A kind of, so what is dialogism? A kind of dialogism. Mikhail Bakhtin's theory of language, dialogic. Not even a single word is, according to Mikhail Bakhtin, all the words in a language is dialogic. See, like that. It could be like that. I don't say, I cannot categorically or as a final conclusion say like that, but it looks like that. You can think of it. So, bored, uninformed, knowing the ghostly silk dispersed. Up to that. That is dispersed. I know it is here and there, it is scattered, dispersed. Yet tending to this cross of ground through suburb scrub. Walking through the suburb scrub, because it is could be hurting, rashes could develop. But still I have a tendency in crossing this ground. In crossing this ground to come here through the suburb scrub. And that is the second thought. Why? Because it had unsplit so long and equable. Although it is scattered here and there, still there is some shape. It is unsplit till now, and also not much variation, equably. What since is found only in separation, marriage and birth and death, and thoughts of this. So when you look at a church, when you enter a church, these are the thoughts that come to you. For whom was built this special shelter? For marriage, for death, for separation. Those who seek separation, those who seek marriage, those who come here getting baptized, and those who die. They are the people who seek. Not a devout religious person who comes here every day. For some purpose, and inevitable, so to say. These purposes in life are inevitable. Marriage, death, and so. For this shell was built. For though I have no idea, this no idea is there, it is also repeated here. There is, from where I stand, the roof seems cleaned or restored. Someone would know, I don't know. That indifference is here, that continues here also. That you will find here also. That is frosty bun, I have no idea. That is washing your hands of the business like a pilot. I have no idea. I think that it is somebody comes here for marriage, for separation. Why should people go to church for separation? I don't know. Separation they have to go to a court of law, not the church. Isn't it? But he thinks like that. He cannot do anything. His thinking you cannot stop. You cannot stop his thinking. The way that he looks at things. Separation, marriage and birth and death. And thoughts of these. They are profound topics, as I told you. For whom was built this special shell? And then he says, this shell. For though I have no idea what this acute frosty bun is worth. Again he says, I have no idea. I have no idea. That is it. For whom was it built, that also I have no idea. What is the purpose of this? That also I don't know. Some people come here for marriage, for separation, for birth, and also after that, they don't come here, they are brought here. After that, you cannot go there, isn't it? Yes, then it pleases me to stand in silence here. That may be the reason when maybe Sundays are holidays for the libraries. So on Sunday, and from this week I told you, cut for Sunday brownish now. That means it must be Wednesday. He must have, maybe Wednesday was a holiday. So he took his bicycle and then started cycling. And this is his habit to go from deserted churches to deserted churches. This may be third or fourth. Especially he goes to the suburbs, churches in the suburb. Now those working class people who will have time to read this poem, definitely they would have enjoyed it, because it has this thought process here in this poem. The thought that is expressed in this poem, it very probably this is what they were thinking also. So synchronizing their thought pattern and the thought pattern of the poet, synchronizing you will find. So when you enjoy something, when you expect in that something what you were thinking. Understand? So what happens is that you enjoy something. Suppose you are reading a novel, say Wuthering Heights, or a Test of the Herbivores, or you are reading the Far from the Madding Crowd, or any of these modern, say Ulysses by James Joyce, or a poem, The Wasteland. So when you read, if you find that your thoughts and the thoughts expressed in that particular work are the same, then you feel, you have the aha feeling. I said, aha, this is what I was expecting. Like that. This poem, not only this poem, many of his poems, Larkin's poems were written for the middle class working people. So when they get leisure, probably they might have been reading this. Poetry reading is a pleasure, not out of pleasure. Prose reading is also a pleasure. But poetry reading is, I don't know whether you have seen me reciting 434 lines of The Wastelands. I learned The Wasteland, the whole poem by heart. Right from the epigraph. Nam Siballam, etc. See, I started from there. Nam Siballam. Kiddam Kumis. Now I forgot. Nam Siballam, Ipse Oculis Mei. Vidi in ambla pendere. Yeah. Et kumili pueri diceren. Ti Sibilla respondeva illa apotling telo. Apotling telo. Apotling telo means, now I am not explaining those things. I just told you. Apotling telo means final separation, that's all. It means death. Apostene, that is apostasy, that English word from there. Now that means separation. Telo means end. So I want teleology, English word teleology. So that is what I wish is to die. That's the meaning. So finally separate from this world means death. Now that's sorry, because I was trying to tell you that reading poetry is a pleasure. See that. April is the coolest month, breeding lilacs out of the dead land. What is the next one? Breeding lilacs, mixing memory and desire, stirring dull roots with spring rain. Winter kept us warm, covering earth in forgetful snow, feeding a little life with dried tubers, summer surprise is coming over the Strandbergers with a shower of rain we stopped in the colony and so on and so on. Decided in February 2017. If you have time, you can go through that. Alright, forget about that. That's a kind of reference what I did. What I wanted to tell you that reading poetry is a great pleasure. So those people who are reading this, when they felt that their thinking and the poet's thinking or the author's thinking, the similarity, synchronization, then what happened? The pressure will be doubled. So in the 1950s, he was he was very popular and accepted as a great poet. Okay, so I hope you understand now. The central idea of this poem is with the descriptions like what is this building, this stanza is what is the building, ground and all those things, informal, etc. It is a place. It pleases me to stand in silence here because it is a place where you get topics for profound meditation, food for thought, that is birth, death, separation, marriage, etc. etc. So your life is your life is intensely connected with the place of worship. So I like to stand here in silence and think. Bye.